There we go. All right, looks like Cross got the little girl skip there. First item they're going to pick up is the windmill key. So that is going to let them get that open there. 102 on those warp boots. So unfortunately can't buy that with their starting money here. Let's see what sword we get as our freebie. It's going to be the Sword of Wind, which is something good to see, especially since they have to go into the windmill. All right, so both of our runners looks like they're going to opt to go right up to the cave here, turn in that key. That is going to get them 3 checks. And if they get the ball, they'll get another 3 checks from that. Cross looks like he got poisoned there, did a quick reset, putting him right outside of town there. A little bit of time loss, but nothing too big right now. All right, it's going to activate the windmill and wild warp back. Smart move. And he did pick up some extra money. So Steve is not opting to pick up those boots. He knows it's too expensive. Cross is going to opt to walk back. Steve actually decides to take a detour here. And he's going over to Portoa. He's going to get the item check out of there using the statue glitch. Very happy to see that. Cross, meanwhile, is going to check Windmill Cave here. And he picks up rabbit boots. Definitely a good pickup for early combat. Happy to see that. It is changed over the vanilla iteration of the item. So it allows you to charge while moving up to level 2, as long as you have the ability to do so. So it'll definitely help save a little bit of time here for our runners when they do get that. Ooh, early moths, early butterflies. Quite evil thing to see here. Cross making his way through the windmill cave as Steve is doing that statue glitch here, just to allow him to bypass the guard, go right back out. Oh, looks like the guard bodied him there a little bit. And there we go. And an orb of fire. Oh, it looks like Cross got bodied there. Accidentally hitting start. It's going to reset and go in there. Make a quick save. Just make sure everything's... Which means that the Sword of Fire is probably... Well, it could be in this cave here. Steve picking up his own rabbit boots. Getting hit there by that butterfly, taking a lot of damage, and Cross is actually going to Wild Warp out of there. Looks like he's going to rest up at the inn here. And then make another attempt at it. While Steve's pushing the enemies around and getting up here to get those items. A lot of things in that cave are not vulnerable to wind, so that's why we're hearing that wonderful tink sound when we hear it. And that's Mimic number 1. I'm getting a tiny bit of XP there for the scaling. So just play it safe. Picking up a medical herb. So the last item, what's going to be the vanilla ball of wind location. I feel like it's going to be just that, but we will see. K-Falax will be joining us in just a moment. He's got some noise in his background, so he'll be joining us. Nope, it is in fact the Sword of Fire. And Steve already does have that ball, so he knows where he needs to go with that. Which means they're going to have to head back over to Portoa there, and they're going to have to check the Waterfall Cave. Meanwhile, Cross actually did make his way over to Portoa to get the item here, which he will soon learn is the ball, and he'll have to go back through and make his way to get that sword. Statue glitches right past the guard, shows him his sword, lets him out. Gets his orb of fire. Still needs to get the sword. Yep, realizes that's what he needs to do. Warps right back to Okay. No divergence yet, as our runners are kind of still locked into positions here. So we're probably going to see either the Orb of Wind or something to get these guys into the water. Potentially get a couple other checks here. Nah, we don't want to talk about Saber West. Nobody wants to talk about Saber West. It's definitely another option that they could do.
You know what what's weird about the rabbit boots though? It changes your stabbing patterns, and you know, you guys noticed in the last race, I'm big on stabbing, and so I kind of those rabbit boots annoy me because of that stabbing.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen our runners jump anymore with the boots. I personally like to jump around and stab with the beat.
I'm also surprised they're going here instead of Saber North or Saber West, because I guess you could get the tornado bracelet here and then get Tornell's item there, but you could also get the flute of lime. And I think it's more likely you get the flute of lime somewhere else and then come here.
It's possible. So far we've seen 2 fruits, nothing great. Steve hearing me through all the power and jumping, making me happy.
The jumping on the rabbit boots is fun for sure. I think it was the most fun item in the task to use because it was in a task setting. It's really versatile, but you know, it's a little harder to use in real time.
That is very true. Steve hopefully finding something in Waterfall Cave here that'll pay off on this check. Orb of Thunder. So that is something. That is definitely
not right
something.
now, but
I know I personally would be happy to see that this early. Especially getting that before getting the sword is always nice. Meanwhile, Cross is going to the place that I don't want to go to ever, which is Saber West. Steve is also making his way over there right now. It looks like gonna get a couple levels here real quick. And he's gonna use those rabbit boots and hop up to the vanilla tornado bracelet location. Very nice use of those. And our first opal. So nice thing to pick up. Super happy. Steve is opting to not go to West yet. It looks like he's going to go get what I assume is going to be his checkpoint in Bryn Mawr there, and then get the one item across the water. And of course, check the shops. Those are actually very cheap warp boots. That is worth noting. The scaling is up to 6 right now with his level at 3. So seeing those at 103, Steve is definitely happy to pick up those. All right, so barrier pickup by Steve. That'll definitely help, especially with the early game here. We're seeing a lot of enemies that can cast range paralysis. Cross, meanwhile, on Saber West, picking up the Statue of Onyx, which is something to turn in over in Bryn Mawr. So it's definitely good that he's getting that now and then going to be able to route that in. Save him a little bit of time.
And you know what I'm seeing with barrier and the Orb of Thunder, it's looking like we get one more item and we're into the front of Goa.
That is definitely an option for sure.
Oh, flight.
Yep,
Cross product has flight.
Oh boy. That's a big pickup right there.
It's always in the place where you don't want to go, isn't it?
I'm going to tell you right now, last 6 runs I've done, that's exactly how it's been. So yeah, that's going to be a good pickup for Cross. It's definitely going to help him make up some time too. Picking that up first, he's going to go all the way up. Check the items there. Steve picking up his opal now. Happy to see these blue zombies here. Great to get XP off of. You know what I'm not happy to see? That our mimic count is still only at 1. Let's get that up.
In time, especially if they end up going into Goa here.
I mean, your play of Goa is definitely getting, like, it's getting a nice big red arrow, big nice sign that says, hey, go here. Cross did find the ivory statue. Another good item. Changes Kensu from a slime form back into a man. That is definitely something that's going to be of use for him. Steve gonna do it? Yep. So Steve is also very good about getting items and deciding if the time commitment is there for routing. He's going to turn in that and only get rewarded with a magic ring. So Statue of Onyx is definitely not where we needed for progression.
But, you know, that's not always a bad play. In the last race, I did that at Evil Spirit Island, and I still finished in 35 minutes, so, you know.
That is definitely true. He is going to have to redip, though, to get that flight, because he did not get that.
That could definitely hurt.
Yep, Cross right now making the play to go over to Amazons. I like this. 120 on the warp boots. Those actually might be as cheap as the ones in Brynmere. Opting to use an herb just to top himself off to buy another set of boots. I like this. Is it a mimic in the basement? It is change.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting. So now with flight and change, we can get to the other side of the world.
We can go to Goa.
That's right. And with barrier, we can get in. We don't have a Sword of Thunder to actually open that barrier up, though.
Nope, but we can always enter from the backside. Cross did remember to check that spot and get his barrier, so density-wise, I would make the play to go to the other side of the world.
That's right. Whether you so whether they dip right into the back of Goa, or they could do Dragon 1 first for a few items. There's a lot of good places over there.
Yep, Cross is going right into the back. And Steve picking up his flight now, too. Probably feeling a little bit of the, I should have waited, checked this first. There's the Carissa plant, so more power to the change that he picked up. So force a double dip there in Amazon town. Cross making his way here over to Joel, stopping in to get the teleport point. Looks like he's gonna refill his MP here. 27, Luck's out there. Just enough to be able to stop and do that. Doesn't have the Ball of Wind yet, so he can't go into Evil Spirit Island. So he is gonna make his way to the rest of the world here. He's gonna head up to Swan, and and use that change to look like one of the guards there from the Dragonian army and make his way past. Now, he is a little low on MP. I wouldn't be surprised if he uses that magic ring there.
I think he's going to have to.
It's either that or he's going to take the time and kill the guards. Which, he's going to opt to kill the guards. Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the magic ring because he had a full inventory. So yeah, because his inventory was full, he did not get that item. Consumables can be dropped from turn-ins, and if you have a full inventory, you don't get the item. So he doesn't even know it was a magic ring that he didn't get. That's actually going to force this fight because he doesn't have the money, and they're only weak to wind out of the 2 swords that he has. So just gonna go to the inn, rest up, get his MP back and health.
So what he should have done is in Joel, if he would have just gotten the pity MP and gotten his flight up, and then go into the inn in Swan instead, he would have had it. Well, I guess he wouldn't have had enough gold to get to the inn in Swan anyway.
That's correct. Yeah, so it was a little too much, but that's fine. I believe he just sold off an herb, and he's got enough, so he's gonna go through.
So between a lack of consumables here, and we don't have teleport yet, so gold is going to be a pretty distinguishing factor here.
For sure. Cross Ari getting that ivory statue is going to check our favorite Brokahana check. This only becomes active in this flag set when you get the ivory statue. Just getting a Lysis plant though, so not really anything to write home about. Steve, meanwhile, finished up Saber West there, and looks like he's making his way over. Yep, he's going to head over to Amazon as well, because he knows it's got to be something there to help him get to the rest of the world.
Did Cross remember to check Brokahana?
Yeah, yep, it was a Lysis plant. He is doing the same play that Dio holding the Psycho Armor this time. Great armor, will give you health regeneration while standing still. Super good defense as well. Not the best in the game anymore, but still quite good. A lot of early butterflies. Nobody wants to see these early butterflies.
Butterflies at any time are always fun.
Yeah, okay. I want you to go stab some butterflies.
Oh, Cross getting stoned.
The one saving grace is he did jump into the air first, and the mummy's actually being friendly after that, giving him the space to not get bodied. It's really nice of them. Gave him the health here. He does still have the rabbit boots on, so he can charge while moving. Can still hop as well. Neither of our runners have turned in the Crystalis plant yet. And Cross picking up that love pendant could be something there, but we can't check it yet. We do need the paralysis spell to be able to do that. Looks like both of our runners here are farming up a little bit of money, a little bit of XP. Wise decision, as they've got good enemy choices here to fight.
Good plan. They're gonna need more warp boots. They're gonna need probably maybe some fruit of power or something to restore MP and HP too, because we're not getting the magic.
Yep. So far, we've only seen the one magic ring. Cross with the beautiful Dragon 1 fight there, not getting hit at all. Is rewarded with an antidote for his troubles. And then let's see here what else. He's actually opting to just toss something to make sure he gets the item. And this time he is rewarded with a magic ring, so that will help him save a in check there. Where is he going to go from here is the question. So he's going to go back to Goa. I wonder if he's going to go into the he's got a statue glitch here so he can get his MP back. I'm curious, do you think he's going to go over to Hydra to get the 2 checks over there that he can get without having Sword of Wind, and potentially the one in Chiron, or is he going to go bottom of the crypt?
I think he's going to go to the bottom of the crypt, and I think that's the play. you know, with flight, there's only 2 items you can get on Mount Hydra, and you could get to, you can also get to Shiren and get the item there. So 3 items total, but a little more than it's worth. Go in the crypt, we got 3 items we can get to in the Oasis Cave, actually, and then the 4th one on the other side of the river. And one of them is a bow.
Yep, that tells me right now that, okay, we don't need to see moon and sun. We don't need to check the backside of the pyramid there. Everything looks great. That's a great bow to find. I'm always happy to find that one for. Okay. So, you got 1 bow. I'll show you 2 bows. But Oasis Cave, do not show me 3 bows.
Wow. Well, we have another sub 40 seed here.
It is definitely possible. Both of these runners, once they do find these bows, should be able to do that. I swear, if we find a 3rd bow here, okay, speed boots. Great find, not a bow. You didn't fail me, Cave. Good job. I cannot have a seed where we only see 1 mimic. That would hurt.
Anti-mimic percent.
No, that is not a thing.
And we have Steve making the play into the back before going to Dragon 1.
Oh, that's the Orb of Wind. So both runners now have a Orb of Wind and Fire that's going to open up a ton of things, especially with flight. And
That
that's
Orb of
going to...
Wind is particularly huge. We've got the back of Vampire Cave, we've got Evil Spirit Island, and we've got Fog Lamp, we've got Crisa Plant. That's everything.
Yeah, this is definitely huge. Cross gonna turn in his statue here to Kensu. It's gonna be given a medical herb, no big deal. Kensu's always been kind of a jerk like that. Steve picking up his bow there as well. An orbital water pickup for Cross. So it is possible that they may have water access, though they don't necessarily need that for anything except for the rage sequence.
Cross only going in his menu and dropping 1 thing at a time.
There we go. I'm happy. Mimic 2. Mimic
Number 3.
Super happy. All right, and Cross deciding to warp out there. He is going to go turn in that Carissa plant. He's like, is this vanilla?
Oh, the Sword of Thunder!
Need I remind you, he did pick up that Ball of Thunder. Getting rewarded with a medical herb for his trouble. So he does have barrier. That does put one of the 4 generals in logic.
Steve making an extra save point out front. Probably thinking if he doesn't get anything in the back of Goa here, he can restore that and then go to Dragon 1.
Yeah, but we both know that he's going to find some good stuff in there, and he might want to keep it. Meanwhile, Cross is entered the Windmill Cave from the backside here to fight Vampire, pick up the 3 items that were in here that they didn't have access to until now. It's a very good fight from Cross. Killing that Vampire. Steve talking to Kensu here. Getting that medical herb.
The stab strats are usually better on the Vampire, though. And they also have the Sword of Fire, which would get more... so the Sword of Fire level 2 attack would be better, too. So... there's room for improvement.
I thought Vampire was immune to fire.
Not that Vampire. The first Vampire is vulnerable to all the elements. It's the second Vampire that's immune to fire.
Today I learned.
Steve getting
you're up.
some, yeah, getting some experience and money from these mimics.
Cross with a big find though. That's a warrior ring, so he's not gonna worry at all about levels and money now. Especially with that, gets into an area he's gonna find a couple of good monsters to farm up, and is just gonna fly high on the money and the XP train there.
With that last bow comes fast. He may still have to think about levels a little bit, but if it goes longer, then he's probably going to be seeing plenty of levels on his way.
Definitely. I'm wondering when he's gonna pull the trigger and go back in Indigo Fortress there.
Or even Evil Spirit Island. You know, we've got everything we need for it.
That is definitely in logic now, except for
And instead,
the
we're
boss
going
fight.
into the Carissa Plant Cave, which is a fairly low-density location. Only 2 items here.
Glowing lamp pickup. Okay, so not bad. I know why he's doing this. This goes back to what we discussed previously after our race of just making good checks of things. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do fog lamp cave as well after this. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, literally, Steve is happily here in Hydra, doing some checks here. Looks like it's just a consumable on the first chest. Picking up some warp boots, always a good thing to find.
Cross going for a very methodical routing, getting kind of maybe thinking, let's go through the world and get things in the order that we can get them so we don't forget anything. Where
Hello,
Steve,
Bert!
Oh! Steve heading straight to Mount Hydra here. So we have 4 checks on Mount Hydra after the one that's kind of in the beginning that you can pretty much always get. Let's see what Steve finds.
Opal number 2. So always happy to see those. Cross found a mimic in Fog Lamp Cave.
Steve making great use of the Sword of Thunder spread. With level 2 attacks there, you only need the level 1 attack, but he has level 2, which increases the power of that level 1 attack, and that spread lets him take out enemies real easily. And even without the rabbit boots, he just needs to charge to level 1. It's probably better to keep the speed boots equipped, use this level 1 charge attack, and we have the flags, so our Swiss flags here, the enemy vulnerabilities are not changed. And that means that almost every enemy is vulnerable to the Sword of Thunder. So you kind of, once you have the Sword of Thunder, you've got a real big incentive to kind of keep that equipped if you want to just keep killing stuff. Another one!
We're up to 6. I'm so happy.
So Mount Hydra, a bit of a bust. I don't think Steve got anything of note.
Nope, he did find a pair of warp boots, other than the 2 mimics from my own heart. Cross, meanwhile, in Foglamp Cave, decided to opt on my favorite Medusa enemies here and grind up a little bit. Did get up to level 8. as they are giving quite a decent chunk of XP here with this scaling. Only found a shell flute of note. Steve did find the second opal. That was about the highlight of Mount Hydra there. If you're not counting mimics. I'm obviously counting mimics.
At this rate, you might just get your mimic percent run here.
I want it. We've only seen one. Steve checking Bro Kahana, and unfortunately not finding anything happy.
It had to have been a consumable.
Yep. I believe it was a medical herb.
That's right. Cross got it. Okay, Cross coming up on the last item here. We'll see if his dip into this long cave is going to be worth it.
While he's finishing up getting that one last item there in the back, Steve is making his way over to the pyramid. Gonna check Dio along the way. And a magic ring for Cross, so nothing too exciting in Foglamp Cave. Got a shell flute for scaling, but since they have flight, doesn't really do anything for progression.
On the other hand, Cross Product has an amazing amount of gold. He's going to be able to buy all the warp boots he needs.
Yep, it's just the power of that warrior ring coming off. That was also one of the added benefits of going into Foglamp Cave there, fighting all of the Medusa enemies. Definitely paying off here. And it looks like Cross is opting for that Evil Spirit Island play. I'm very happy to see this at this point. It's the next
I think this is
largest
the play.
density. It's the next largest density of checks. I mean, you've got 4 in the island, it's like in the cave itself, and then you've got 3 up in the fortress on the island, plus Clark Kent.
I think this is going to be a good play, but I'm going to call that the bow is somewhere in Goa.
I'd be happy to see that. Steve not wanting to waste that opal there. Just reset out of that fight real quick. That's a mimic. We're over halfway there. Axe, are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Yes.
That's 7 out of 12.
That is correct. 7 out of 12. Steve finishing up the Dragon 1 fight there. Getting his antidote, and then going to be rewarded with his magic ring here if... nope. His inventory is full.
Cross is still poisoned and working his way through. Oh, but he finds the Sacred Shield. And the battle armor, which could have prevented his poison.
He's not going to worry about it too much. I mean, he's got the Psycho. Oh, no.
And it was a good idea until the butterfly came in.
That's definitely true. He's going to slam that medical herb as quick as he can. Be very happy about that. Meanwhile, Steve is now entering the back of Windmill Cave. He'll be very happy to find that warrior ring when he clears those checks. Cross finding teleport, so that money advantage for the warp boots isn't going to be too much of a payoff anymore. Now, I haven't seen either runner, to my knowledge, check any of the weapon shops. It is definitely possible that they could buy the ceramic armor, which is the highest armor value in the game. That's definitely an option our runners could do. Cross does have a lot of money, and as the scaling goes up, that armor is going to get reduced in cost.
But I think that with... so we've got both battle and psycho armor, and I don't think that the ceramic defense bonus is going to be worth so much.
No, probably not. At this point, I think they're probably just going to use the money for potentially medical herbs, or if they want to conserve MP, maybe if they find a shop early enough that they can buy good things
Tornado
on.
bracelet.
That's a great find. So that's going to be a nice power boost here, especially going into the vampire fight. That also gives them 1 check on Saber West to go back to.
It also gives them a level 3 attack, which is nice in combination with that warrior ring. Gives them so that level 3 charge level means that not only can they use that tornado attack, but they also, all of their stab attacks and all of their shot attacks become more powerful.
So I didn't realize this, but Cross did not have the Orb of Thunder, Mimic number 8. He did just find the second orb, which is going to be Steve's bracelet when he gets there. So Steve will have Lag Storm for the tower. So that is definitely something that could come to pass in terms of the shift of power.
Now, where was that other orb?
I'm trying to remember.
What is...
I believe Steve checked. Yeah, Steve checked Waterfall Cave.
Ah, that could be it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was in Waterfall Cave.
Okay. Flame Bracelet makes real short work of Sabera here. And we get rewarded with the Power Ring. Very nice.
That's a great play. Super happy to have that. I actually missed where he picked that up. That could be, that could have been the last chest in Evil Spirit Island.
Let's see what Clark has for us. Paralysis.
That is actually relevant right now because they did pick up the Love Pendant and Cross realizes that he's going straight for it. Just a medical herb though, so unfortunately nothing too great, but his inventory was open, so glad to pick it up.
It looks like Steve's gonna make his play on Evil Island, and but where's Cross gonna go? It looks like he's gonna go into Goa Fortress.
Tornado Bracelet, Flame Bracelet, I'd definitely do this play.
So
2 sections up the
logically,
front.
yeah, and that's logical access all the way up to Mado.
Yep, that's 3 total floors of checks, 2 bosses worth of checks. That's the highest density he's got. They've already cleared the backside, save for Carmine. I definitely like this play out across.
Yeah, 11 or
Very
12
happy to see
items
that.
total, and it's going to be pretty easy fights given how loaded he is.
Warrior Ring, Power Ring, Double Bracelet, Barrier. I mean, they've got all, like, anything a runner could want right now. When it comes down to it at the end of the day, they're perfectly set for things. I mean,
Except
the
for
only
that last
luxury
bow.
is maybe... I guess. I mean, if you really want a bow. Snom, don't worry. She just told everyone to take a nap. It's okay. All right, Kelbesk, being weak to wind, Cross said, I don't care. Tornado Bracelet here. Finds his Sword of Water.
Ooh.
So they could actually find the bracelet in here, ascending, get the Fool clear. This is very interesting. Actually going to switch the auto here over to Cross. So this is more of what I usually get in a seed as of late. I get 2 bows, and I'm going, where's that 3rd bow? And it's the needle in the haystack.
It is. It's you know, it's like it's kind of your ice rod. that bow can be literally anywhere. Although there is one place it can't be for sure, which is the crypt, because we have the Bow of Truth. So that means our last bow is the Bow of Moon, and we won't be able to get into the crypt without it. And as soon as we get there, we'll be able to finish the game.
So good on Steve. There's his storm bracelet. He actually just did the Vampire 2 fight with fire.
Steve finding his mimics. Let's see. Oh,
Mimic 9.
And there's another one.
We're at 9 unique mimics. We are almost there. 3 more, Chad. It's all we need. 3 more.
Cross making his way through this incredible maze of of sewers and whatever's in this iron walls to get to the Sabera 2 fight, which should go down pretty fast here.
Yeah, even at the scaling, level 9, just gonna use that level 3 charge with the power ring, get all the damage out that he can, and there you go, 2 charges. All it took.
And we have both runners on Sabera. Steve on Sabera 1 and Cross on Sabera 2.
Finds refresh. Now, all the luxuries are covered. Give us the bow game.
So we have 4 items up till Mado, and then we'll see if Cross goes for Mado. He only has level 2 on water here, but he's got the Warrior Ring, which makes it not such a bad fight, especially given the armor he's got.
That is definitely true. Nope, we're not even gonna bother. That is a bow. That is go.
And given what he has, this is going to be a pretty easy stomp through the end game. Although Cross,
magic ring, you say? Yes, please.
Oh, he does not have lag storm though, but he does have thunder, or he has fire and tornado. So let's see what he uses on the end bosses here.
I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna go for a fire strat for sure. It's gonna give him the most amount of hits. It's gonna be a good. I'm fairly confident that Cross has actually practiced that as of recently. Yep, switching right over to it.
And that's a good play. It's actually really good. It lags less than the lag storm, of course, and the power is just as good.
That is exactly right.
If you haven't practiced, it can be a little finicky trying to avoid the enemies kind of circling around in the fire whirlpool. But we have refresh, making we can just heal ourselves, so should be a pretty easy stomp here. On the other hand, he's not finding any good enemies for grinding to get another couple levels, which would be real nice. 33 scaling isn't very high, but level 9 is also pretty low.
There we go, 10 and 33. Be pretty happy with that.
Unfortunately, one of the convenience items we got was not recover.
Unfortunately, no, but they do. Cross does have refresh. He's got refresh. He's got extra mana rings. I mean, you've got the power ring, the warrior ring. Combat-wise, you're all set. You're right, we can't remove the status effects, but there is a checkpoint right before the Dragon 2 fight, so he's just going to be able to make a quick checkpoint and get that out of there. And obviously going to grind up to 11 real quick because they're giving over 900 XP a pop. I'm just gonna full prep himself, make that checkpoint again, so he's got everything set, and go right into the Dragon 2 fight. Steve, meanwhile, is still going through Fog Lamp Cave here.
Let's see what sort of pattern Dragon gives us here.
There we go. There's the laser pattern. It's a good side angle on it. Make good use of that barrier here. Breathing fire, he's going to want to definitely get up there and get that tank. Hopefully get that set up again. While this fight's going on, after another ball throw pattern, Steve found that magic ring at the back, and he's back into thinking percent now. He wants to know where do I go? And I think he's got it, because he just went to Goa. He's going to go to the inn, get his MP back, and he should go up to the fortress. No, he's going down. Okay. Where are you going, Steve? Cross, meanwhile, finishing off the Dragon fight there, which is quite good. I think it was a 3-cycle. Up the tower he goes. So he's still got that power ring on. Yep, he's doing power ring 3s. So with this scaling, he should be fairly able to one-cycle everything with a good juggle. Looks like he's able to do that just fine. As I say that and give him commentator's curse on the last robot.
The fire sword is also nice because that level 2 attack is also pretty useful. You know, you can unleash that on the flying robot, the helicopter, and usually take him out with one of those attacks and save the actual fire tornado for the robots. Meanwhile, Steve, gonna deliver some more mimics for your mimic percent run here.
Steve, you're my hero.
Unfortunately, we know that there won't be any of the bows that he needs here, nor any progression that he really needs that would be helpful.
And he gets 2 pieces that could send him off to checks. The eyeglasses and the flute of lime. Eyeglasses right now not usable because they don't have the alarm flute, but it's possible he could find that.
The axe chest delivering an antidote.
He's got 2 more checks in Stixie. Hopefully they're both mimics, make me really happy. Cross, meanwhile, forging the Crystalis. We'll be heading right up to that Dynafite. Making great time. Definitely going to be a sub-hour seed here for him. There's a mimic! We're at 10! $11! And Cross, knowing he's got both opals, doesn't care. He's just going to charge right up to the front and just start doing the damage. Get those iframes. Oh, he's not whispering sweet nothings to Dinah. And there it is. All right.
This was a pretty lucky seed rolls. 2 sub 50 minutes in a row.
That is definitely for sure. Cross product does finish with a time of 49.50 from SRL.
Get your
He looks like
GGs
he's
ready
going
for...
into the front now. In the front of Goa Fortress here, and Cross more than likely will join us for an interview once he gets that message from the bot. Steve, I want you to finish, but I need you to find this mimic for me, buddy.
We're probably going to see the same route from Steve here.
Oh, definitely. At this point, yeah, he's checked all the other checks. The only other possible thing he hasn't done is the tornado bracelet turn-in. Neither runner ended up doing that. Because, you know, one-off check's going to kill you in a race like this.
And most of those can't be mimics. That's the important thing here.
That is actually the important thing here, because we want to see that last mimic. Making quick work of General Kelbesk there. Is going to get rewarded with his Sword of Water. All right, and it looks like Cross Product is joining us here in the booth. Go ahead and bring him on in. GG Cross, congrats on your win.
Hey, thanks a lot. This was pretty textbook. Just go where all the items are, see all the density checks paid off. And I guess Evil Spirit Island wasn't required, but the Flame Bracelet really, I felt like was pointing there. And then also to front of Go. So it looks like Steve Hex is about to find his last bow here.
Yep. Steve does have Lag Storm, which is one thing that you didn't have. Because you did get the ball there on Evil Spirit Island in the fortress.
I would have felt really bad if that were the other item where the Bow of Moon was. Like there's the other item up to the north that I could have just walked up there and checked pretty easily. And I checked an item in Pyramid anyway, so like, why not that one that was really close? I would have felt really bad if that turned out to be Storm Bracelet, but...
Exactly,
well,
yeah.
Dude, the Flame Bracelet just demolished everybody anyway.
Yeah, so how do you feel about basically getting a runner's dream, getting both rings? You got refresh, mind you, mid-game, but you got refresh. You got the early barrier.
I used refresh once in the tower.
Yeah.
And only because I was refilling my magic anyway. The freaking, like, I was just waiting. I was waiting for 3 bows to be in Oasis Cave, dude.
That's
like,
actually what happened. Like, we both commented on it. It was, here's bow number 1, and I can just imagine Bob Barker. And here's bow number 2. Show me the 3rd one. And no,
but speed boots, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of good, right? I mean, it's like a bow. It makes you go fast. Kind of.
Oh man. There were some good grind spots in this run. I feel like my scaling was a little bit ahead. There were always seemed to be Gorgons. I was like, okay.
It was super good. Steve picking up his bow is gonna port over there to Sahara and make his way into the back of the pyramid and up to the tower after that Dragon 2 fight. Yeah, you made optimal use of the warrior ring, especially when you found the Medusa enemies, my personal favorite shrimps, and just helpered them down, Sword of Thunder, warrior ring. Just picking up the XP there. I remember you actually took a moment, I think it was about maybe 2 minutes or so, and just grinded on them and got 2.5 levels.
I picked up, about right, 2.5 levels in Fog Lamp Cave, I think. I only had to pull up maps twice in this run. One was obviously Goa Floor 2.
I thought I
Whoops.
saw you do that because you kept hopping down to the bottom, and I'm like, oh, he's
I couldn't
checking. He's
figure
checking the
out.
map.
Yeah, I checked the map. And the other one, I think, might have been Fog Lamp Cave. I don't remember. But, or did I? No, you know what? I don't think I did. I actually looked over some of the maps beforehand. I was pretty tempted to go up to Mount Hydra, but just like Goa Fortress was basically full clearable except didn't have Sword of Water. And then Sword of Water was like on floor 2 or something. And I was just like, oh, if I have to fight Mato with a ball of water, I'll fight Mato with a ball of water. But I didn't, so I was happy.
Yeah, no one ever enjoys that fight except maybe me, because I'm crazy. Uh-oh, Steve unfortunately taking a fall there. Trying to turn around and hit the enemy.
Actually, if he had gone into that door transition, he could reset and warp back up there.
Oh, he could also just let his opal statue blow.
I'm really
Yeah,
confused
got
what he's
to.
doing right now.
I guess
So,
he's just playing it safe.
Matrick, were you, or I'm sorry, Gozen, were you happy with my Dino fight?
I was extremely happy with your man mode Dino fight. I was like, he's got opals. He's going right up for it.
I
I'm just
caught the
watching
end of the
that.
last. I caught the end of the last race and heard you talking about that, and I was like, I gotta know. I'll go in here. I'll just face tank him.
So the one thing you didn't do is you didn't whisper sweet nothings to Dinah because she wouldn't open her eye again.
I did whisper sweet nothings and put her to
Apparently they
sleep.
weren't sweet enough.
Oh boy. Oh, did you notice? Did you notice my SRL comment here?
Yes.
I don't know if anybody realizes from watching it, but for like the first 5 minutes trying to get through Windmill Cave, I was just like, man, this cave is tough. How will I ever get past all these enemies? So I kind of bailed and went to Portoa instead. And then when I got back to Windmill Cave, I like accidentally tapped the A button and I jumped. It's like, that's right. Rabbit Boots does something besides let you charge your sword.
Yeah, we
And
were both commenting on that.
That made I jumped a couple times just to call it out that I realize I can jump now. These guys, these little mop heads and snakes were a good grind point too. I think I took it to level 11 before going into Dragon.
Yep, that is correct. You did. You actually picked a good XP spot here because they were giving over with your scaling 980 XP per on average, so it was definitely good.
Given over 1,000 for Steve, but I think I was 33, he's 37 scaling.
Yeah, he actually ended up full clearing Hydra and getting some more mimics and just consumables. And he also full cleared Stixie and found 2 more mimics. And unfortunately, you guys are 1 short of the mimic percent. So
I swear I found all the mimics.
I'm a little sad there. But it's okay. 11 is still something to be very proud of.
He's gonna have 10 and a higher scaling. He's upstaging me here. But he has a storm bracelet, so it kind of evens out. We'll say.
It's definitely true. He does have that. He is currently opting to go with the fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. He's gonna do that just for the lag reduction, because you will get the hits, but you're gonna actually get more hits with the fire bracelet versus that. He definitely needs to get up there and get a tink on the wing though. Otherwise, he's gonna wait for the natural progression.
None of that pattern manipulation on Dragon's real. I don't believe in it.
It actually does work if you get on the correct pixel.
Alright, whatever.
For that on the bottom.
Sure, man. I got a bridge to sell you.
Ooh, getting a good double pattern there. Nice quick kill from Steve.
I think Sab 1 had the power ring, right? That was a good dip. I felt good on that. Yeah, as soon as I got the flame bracelet, I was thinking Spirit Island, because that's logically required, I believe, to kill Sabir.
Yep. Logic in these flags requires you to have battle magic, so you should have your bracelet for the respective boss.
Right. Man, remember? Who remembers the way old days of Crystalis Randomizer when you could kill Sabira 1 with Sword of Thunder? They didn't code her to be immune to thunder because they assumed you wouldn't have it at that point in the game. So Steve actually. So shout outs to Steve Hacks, by the way, for basically being the guy that made this happen. A lot of people like Matrick and Dragon Dark, of course, helped out too. But Steve Hacks did the majority of the coding, so it's his fault I couldn't use Sword of Thunder on Sapphira 1.
That is correct.
So I think the vampire takes damage from everything but fire. Is that still the case?
So as I learned, apparently the first one is weak, is vulnerable to everything, and the second one is has the fire immunity.
It's so weird. Why is a vampire immune to fire?
It's because he didn't know about Castlevania.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Steve here making his way, getting some groupings of these copper robots together, so he can utilize the lag storm. Try to be efficient with his mana as possible.
Oh, you know what? Dragon type Pokemon are resistant to fire.
Yep.
No, wait. We're talking about vampire. Why did I say dragon? Dragons and vampires are different.
Only a little bit. I mean, they both fly.
They both have bat wings. They're both immune to fire.
Well, one's resistant to fire. If you consider fairy type holy, I guess that would make them both the same. Both weak to holy.
Sure. I've never heard of fairy type, but whatever.
It's a new thing. It's okay.
Yeah, so other than... I think my big problem in this seed... Oh my gosh, did you see? I got money trolled twice this seed. First was in the very beginning with the 103 cost warp boots. Like, what the heck is up with that? 103 gold for warp boots and leaf.
Yeah, so both of you found that, and I can just feel your disgust from those warp boots, because that's the second high drop of warp boot costs. From that, because I could tell Steve looked at that and went, "Oh, okay." Just didn't even want to look at it.
The other thing was when I got to Swan, I actually had to kill the guards and steal their money.
We commented on that because we're
that
like,
was pretty funny. And then after that, I was still like 6 gold short, and I was just like, fudge it, I'll sell a medical earth.
Yep. We actually thought that was a great play.
So long to kill them.
The thing that was unfortunate, so the item that you didn't get, the second item from the Dragon 1 fight when you dropped down, was a magic ring, and your inventory was full.
Oh.
Yeah, so that would have actually saved you from that entire sequence of happening.
Was I full on Dragon? There was one I was full on. I know Akahana in Bryn Mawr had an item that I didn't get.
It was a herb. Just an herb.
I thought I got the. Maybe not. I guess I didn't. You say I didn't, so I guess I.
Steve getting a pretty good eye opening here from Dinah. Happy to use that barrier and just go through.
So he
Remember
can't
to flip over to the power ring. There we go. Get that extra damage in.
He can't get hit by the little plasma waves coming in from the sides.
The purple revenge beams, the crescents there. That's correct.
So the only thing that can hit him is right now is the bubbles, and barrier blocks that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been a few changes to the Dinah fight since I last played.
Yep, and there's Steve finishing up here with a second place time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 17 seconds.
GG.
GG to him. All right. More than likely, we will see Steve here in just a moment pop in and join us for some post-game commentary and speak of the... And we welcome Steve Hacks to the booth. Steve, GG on that finish. May have stepped away for a moment.
Yep, thank you. Sorry, I didn't
There
have
we
my button on.
Oh, it's not a problem.
So I gotta know, what was Cross's scaling at the end of that?
33, I think.
Yep, 33, and he was level 11.
Nice.
Yeah, I farmed out the snakes and the mop heads for like a level and a half at the end, right before Dragon. Anytime I was a little behind, it always seemed like there were Gorgons to fight, and I had Thunder and Warrior Ring, so that was pretty nice.
No, I feel like the rabbit boots helped with just kind of keeping up the levels, but I could not find that third bow for a while.
Yeah, I took a chance on going into Goa Fortress pretty much right after Evil Spirit Island. Like, I had Tornado Bracelet and Flame Bracelet, and I was like, well, I can go through the front now and pretty much get everything up to Mado. And of course, I didn't have the Sword of Water yet. I was just like, well, I can just get everything, not fight Mado, and then come around back and kill Carmine. And hopefully pick up the Sword of Water and just go through in one go. And I got the Sword of Water, but ended up not having to fight Mado, of course.
Yeah, well, with only the ball, I wasn't even going to do it anyway, but didn't have to. But yeah, no, I was just putting off Goa for, doing all these other checks and nothing. A whole lot of nothing. When Stixie showed up, I was like, oh, it's got to be in Stixie. There's 6 free checks right there.
Yeah, Stixie's really enticing.
Yep.
Well, I
Not a
thank
bad
you
call.
personally, Steve, for going to Stixie because you got the mimic count up to 11.
Oh, I didn't quite do it, huh?
No, but you did get 1 short, so thank you for that.
Well, don't tell Gozen, but I'm adding 1 more mimic soon.
Oh, don't worry, he already knows. No, when are you going to make Mimic percent official mode?
Oh, who knows? No, I meant there's going to be 13 mimics soon.
I
In
know.
latest or experimental. Okay, you know that.
Oh, I know that. I've been reading. Anytime the word Mimic comes up, I somehow instantly know.
Oh, someone's got to stay on top of that.
That's what I live for.
So, Cross, were you able to skip a bunch of areas then? That I had to go to? I guess you wouldn't know, but
Yeah,
Awesome.
they filled me in a little. I'll let Goes and run it down.
Yeah, so you ended up checking Hydra. You ended up checking Stixie. Cross didn't touch that area at all.
oh wow.
The one thing to note, you did get Lag Storm over Cross. So that did kind of give you a little bit of power in that sense for the tower section. But Cross with the Flame Bracelet just opted to go through everything with that and the power ring. His biggest thing that paid out for him was that he went and did the backside of Windmill Cave like you ended up doing, but he did it much earlier than you did. And that paid off to get him that warrior ring as soon as possible,
Oh, yeah.
and then just get all the levels, and that's what helped him just keep his lead there.
I thought my routing was really good. I was like, okay, I can teleport to Amazons. Then I can turn in my Carissa plant, and then I can walk up and clear out the back of Windmill Cave. But every time you think you've have a really nice route planned out, you pick up Sword of Thunder.
Yeah, I don't
So,
remember if
I stuck
I
to it
could've
though.
actually-
I had an extra pair of warp boots and instantly went back to Bryn Mawr to check back at Windmill Cave. I was just like, man, routing Portoa into the rest of Windmill Cave, I love this. This is gonna be really fast.
No, I feel like I orphaned the Cursa plant trade, and maybe I didn't. Like when I noticed, I was like, oh shoot, I should have done that long ago. But who knows?
I don't remember seeing you go back for it. It's definitely possible you did, but I'm not recalling it. I know change was required, so you did go get the basement item out of there for sure. But I'm trying to recall, and I can't think of the point where you did go back for it.
No, I think I had Carissa plant, and I didn't have change, and I went in to get the basement item, and I didn't realize that was actually what I needed to turn into Carissa plant. Like, it takes me a while to process that item. Like, wait, no, I can use this right now.
So I forgot that rabbit boots let you jump. I got bodied in, I got bodied in a windmill cave. I'm thinking, how am I ever gonna get past all these guys? I can't go around them. I can't go through them. I didn't think to go over them.
Yeah, how about those warp boot costs?
Yeah, right. The 103 right off the bat.
There wasn't a cheap warp to be found in that entire seed.
I actually got kind of trolled on one of the inns as well in Swan. I'm sorry, Joel. Yeah, Swan.
Yeah,
in
Swan.
Swan. I didn't have enough magic for change, because I'd fly over the ocean.
Yeah, I blew a.
I also overwrote a magic ring. Yeah, I overwrote mine and never got it. Whoops.
It was definitely a great race. Very happy to see that almost getting the Mimic percent here with some great fights, full of equipment. It's always good times for that. Do you guys have any final thoughts for us before we wrap up for the night?
No, just a good game. That was a good race. I was a little sad to see that 50 minutes, but it was definitely good.
Yeah, GG. That's about 40 minutes faster than any of my practice runs last week. So, but
Yeah,
that's
not what I was counting on.
That's there's a lot of time variance in Crystalis Rando. Like it definitely is a different beast from it's like a Super Metroid or Link to the Past randomizer.
Well, I think without story mode on, it's definitely a lot more kind of luck of the draw. Who does the right check first?
True, but we did both have all the swords in this particular one.
We did.
But it's I don't know. It's just that as a general principle, density pays off in randos. But I think it seems to be more the case in Crystalis because you really are only looking for 4 things.
Right, that's where story mode comes in. You get all the boss you have to fight, so you have to basically run through the whole game eventually.
Oh, you have to kill all the bosses?
Yeah, you got to kill all the bosses. Yeah.
Both fights?
So it's yeah.
Both fights.
Vampires too?
Not the vampires. Nobody cares about them. They're just
just the pet sharks. I gotcha.
They lead
I
us
didn't
to
actually know
mimics.
that. I haven't done story mode. I do miss sword charge glitch though. I was thinking that coming up to like Windmill Cave, like coming around through Saber West, I was like, man, if I could sword charge glitch, I could go finish out Mimic Cave right now.
That was always your favorite glitch.
Yeah.
But once you put it into routing, oh boy, is it a pain. When it forces you to triple dip into Goa with the glitch.
Yeah, when it's required, but I think that it's all out disabled in these flags, correct?
Currently,
yeah, we're
yes.
mostly moving towards glitchless for most of the races we do.
Right. I think like ghetto flights doesn't work either.
No, we can't turn that one off, but we don't require it. I like that. That's a good
Oh,
glitch.
you can still be okay. Well, this was an early flight on this particular one, but okay. Yeah, I'm just like I took a long time off and not completely caught up, but I'm learning as I go.
Yeah, I get there.
Having fun.
Well, thanks for the race. Thanks for the comms. Thanks for SpeedGaming for hosting us.
Yeah, thanks SpeedGaming. Miss Metroid did some organizing today, so she's awesome. Thank you. And also goes in an Axeman for commentating, of course. And
Yeah,
that's
no
all
problem.
I've got.
All right, so that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. The next match of the randomizer is going to be tomorrow. It looks like at 9 p.m., which is a different time than I thought it was supposed to be scheduled at, but oh well. The match tomorrow is going to be myself versus Sho Fukumashi. We are going to be apparently featured on SpeedGaming 4, so please look forward to that. It does look like that we are the last event of the night here on this SpeedGaming channel, so it should auto-host over to one of the current Link to the Past randomizer tournament runs that's happening. So once again, thank you very much, SpeedGaming, for allowing us to have this on your channel, and we will be back tomorrow.